Hey guys, it is Jake from Team Insanity. First off, this week we will be uploading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, that's a whole week. Yeah, a whole week of videos. Sorry about how we missed the Friday upload. Oh, we've had a lot of problems. It's been getting real hard because school's just now getting over. Jacob had exams, so had to put a few things first, and so we just thought we would do a whole week of uploads instead. So this is a re-upload of the Phantom review. Honestly, I'll say it once, is that I will never buy another gun, another pump. Well, I mean, I might, but I will always have a Phantom. Anytime you see me, I will always have my Phantom. Well, I'll always own one at least. For sure, you'll never see me without owning a Phantom, because I will never get rid of this thing, and if I do, I will buy a brand new one. There was some guy, when I was in Arizona, asked me if he could buy it off of me for like 150, 160 bucks. Bought it for like 130, something like that. I was just like, no, there's no way. Because I would have to buy a brand new one. I love this thing so much. It is the best investment I have ever made in paintball. I will always own a Phantom for the rest of my playing career, which shall be a very long time. So let's get off to the basics. Barrel, okay? You should not have to buy a barrel. This thing shoots money. You'll be perfectly fine. And if you don't buy like a whole entire freak kit with all the freak inserts and sets or anything like that, there's no point, okay? Buy the D10 O-ring kit and plop it down in place. That's all you have to do. It's a $5 to $10 fix, okay? And it's permanent. I have not had any ball rollout, no issue with anything like that. It's worked perfectly fine. And I love it. You don't see me running around with an extra $100, $120 buck attachment onto my Phantom, because I don't need it. I just don't see the need for it. I don't have ball rollout with my with the little ball detents. It works perfectly fine. This is not the stock cocking kit, because I really didn't like it. Me personally, I didn't like it over top of the barrel. It just kind of bugged me having to like wrap my hands around up here, and like, I could see that if you had like some big ass hands, but I like to get in there. It makes it really nice, a really low profile in the front, and I can just really get in there just with my small ass fingers, because I'm a small guy, and just get in there and it's a mini pump handle. I did a review on that. Go check that out if you're interested. Great. There's just so many attachments. There's just so many things that you can do to this. It's amazing, and it is so light. It is the most amazing, lightest thing ever, okay? This thing with a 9-ounce tank in my 50-round hopper, throwing shit around here, my 50-round hopper, that weighs like a little bit more than my rail, just along with the barrel on it, okay? I mean, it's like 2 pounds, I don't know, it's like really light, okay? It's amazing, and I cannot stress how light that is. So say you're at a scenario game and you've been carrying around a heavy ass Titman with you for a while, and you have like 30 pounds of pods and shit and all over you. I don't even know, just whatever you guys do, and you're getting sick and tired, you're getting wore out, maybe it's almost time for lunch, or it's like you're getting down to the end of the day. Don't worry, just take your whole vest off, take all that crap off. Carry this around. It'll be the biggest relief ever. That's what I do. At all my big games, I will always bring this because it saves a lot on paint. But when I'm carrying around that with, like my rail with the Pinocchio nose cone on, and have my pod pack on, or have the scenario vest on with, fucking bunch of pods on there, or walkie-talkie, and just shit everywhere, it really pisses me off. And it's really just unneeded, and I can make do with this. I have done amazing with this. It has opened up my eyes to a whole new world, basically. Now, I don't recommend you buying a 20-ounce or higher, or I'd just buy 9 ounce to go to like your Sports Authority or your Field, wherever. Don't buy anything over 9 ounce because you won't need it. I filled this thing today at the very beginning of the day, and it's been perfectly fine. It's still pretty full. It's really efficient. Well, I mean, it's a pump gun, so you're gonna get a lot out of a 9 ounce. There's no reason to why you should go out, buy a 20 ounce CO2 tank, anything like that, because it's unneeded. And HPA, alright? Phantoms, they kind of like CO2 a little bit more. That's what I've noticed. Don't really use HPA as much as as you really can. I mean, I know there's like different modifications you can do to it and all kinds of different stuff, but really I just stick to using CO2 because you get the best performance I've noticed out of it. They really like it a lot more. I mean, that's a good and kind of it's more of a bad thing, because CO2 is not the best thing in the world because the weather can make it vary, but it'll make do. I mean, it's not really like a huge issue, but some people are just completely against CO2. I am, but not with this. I use HP on all my other guns, but this, just use CO2. A 9 ounce tank like this should not cost you like 30 bucks. It'll cost you like maybe 10, 12 bucks at the most. I think that's what I bought this at. I don't have the price tag on anymore, so it's not like it's a huge investment or anything like that. But this will save you a lot of money in the long run. But so that's my first thoughts. Now, Les, I'm going to show you how to take it apart. It's a little bit lengthy, but let me show you how to take this bad boy apart. Alright, so this is how you take it apart. It's a little bit lengthy than, your average gun. I already took this part apart just for time's sake. I don't think you want to watch me taking apart screws. Just undo this screw down here. This is part of the undercocking kit. They give you a longer screw, so there we go. Alright, just set that off to the side. Then you take this one. Undo this back one. God. Alright, that was a little bit tougher than I thought. Screwed on there pretty tight. Alright, so that's that. Now, this is what you're going to get. Is you're just going to want to pull that apart like that. Now you just set this whole entire thing, all this stuff, off to the side. Now you're going to get this. I'm going to undo the barrel because there's no point in having the barrel. You can clean your barrel, squeegee it out, put that aside. Let's bust out the lube. Alrighty, so this is what your Phantom on the inside is going to look like. Okay, now to disassemble it even further, all you want to do is just pull it. There you go, just like that. Okay, now I'm not gonna get into this whole entire area in here because there's no point in lubing it all the time. There's nothing really in there. I mean, there is, but you don't. It's like a regulator on your normal paintball gun. There's no point in taking it apart and lubing it every single day. It's just in the valve. It's just more complex. What you're really gonna have to worry about is your hammer, and your bolt. There we go. So then you just take the rest of the frame, set that off to the side. There we go, separate everything. Now, just gonna want to wipe all this down, get all the paint and gunk and the old grease off of there. Make sure you wipe it all nice and clean. There we go. Let's get this bolt spring. Wipe that all down. So you're going to want to do this after every day of playing. Alrighty, so that's all wiped down. So here's your valve. So this is where the air comes through. All right. When if you ever do want to take this apart, right on the side of this gray part, the back gray part, you're gonna see these two little grooves where you can put like some pliers. and unscrew it. I mean, it's really not that hard. You just get a spring and a piston and shit inside of there. Don't really need to take that apart. I'm not going to, but if you do that, make sure you don't pinch this, okay? Because that is where your air comes through. So if you pinch that, you're fucked and you have to buy a whole new part. Okay, so don't pinch down to this too hard. You can't really do it with your fingers. I mean, you'd have to be doing a really hard force to do it. So really, when you're around with tools, don't pinch that. It could result very, very bad. There we go. Just wipe everything down. Now, set that off to the side. Now you bring out your frame again, because this is where all the lube and all that stuff was. Your bolt and everything was just in there. So you got a bunch of old lube in there. So now what you're going to want to do is just wipe all this out. Let me just get a squeegee. You're going to need squeegees with the pump. You're going to need lots of them. Just squeegee all this shit out. Make sure you get all the old lube out. This is what you're going to want to do every single day after using it. Make sure you take out your detent ring too if you ever do use them, because it will fall out. Just make sure you take everything apart. There you go. It does not feel too bad in there. Let me just use the other side of the squeegee. Give it a nice mirrored shiny finish. Now, what you want to do is you want to use a little bit thicker of a grease. You know, maybe Hater Marmalade. I wouldn't really use Sleek. You can if you want. Don't use try to stay away from Hater Sauce, that kind of stuff. Stay with a little bit more of a thicker kind of lube. And I like to use the Tech Gun Salve. Just get this bolt, whole assembly nice and lubed up properly. You don't really need a whole ton, just, you know, give it a nice coat everywhere. Gonna want to get this nice back part, because that's where the spring goes. You don't want to pinch that part either, because guess where the air goes through. Alrighty. Let's take this. The bigger hole is the part that you, this hole right here, you're gonna notice that there's two parts of the bolt on there, two holes I mean. You're gonna want to use the bigger hole. You want that facing this in here, because that is where your pump arm goes. Oh, it's all fucking slippery. There we go. Just actually, before you do that, I like to put a little bit of lube on the inside so it doesn't really scratch or anything like that. I just like to give a nice little thin covering. I just get in there deep. Alrighty. Just slide that back in there like that. Boom, slides in smooth, nice and silky, perfect. You want to take your spring. You're gonna want to lube that up. Just put a nice little thin coat on there. Boom. Alright, so you don't really need too much on that. Jacob's being a retard. Just lube everything up. Now really, I should have just kept the bolt part out because the spring goes on that, but I can make do with what we got. I'm going to put a little bit more on the spring because the spring really didn't get much at all. Now obviously there's only really one way to put this in. So don't try to, you know, go full retard and try to jam it in this way, because it's not going to fit. There's a groove in the body for a reason. Okay, so don't go like isn't it fit? Because it doesn't go that way. There you go. Just like that. Slide her right into place. Boom. Alrighty. Now, don't forget, you want to take your valve. Just put a little thin coat on there. You don't really want to go too crazy. Just you know, just a little bit. Alrighty. So now that that's done, just set this part aside. Now, here comes the fun part. Not really. This is where I would recommend oil, any type of oil. I use Gold Cup. I found it for 99 cents or something. So I just thought, hey, you know, lube for 99 cents can't really go wrong. I just do this with my gun. I just take this apart like this, bada bada bada. I'm just gonna wipe down the whole. There we go. Just wipe all this down. I'm gonna just take out this main spring, main pump spring. And this is where I put oil. The reason why I put oil is, you know, I mean, it's not gonna really hurt it. It's not gonna like make it too it's not gonna like make it really, you know, smooth. It's not like it's gonna make it, you know, like make it a huge difference. But it's better to have a little bit of some type of oil on every moving part. You know, it's just kind of like a real gun. It might not do a whole lot, but it's gonna reduce the wear, make it a little bit easier on the gun, make it easier on the spring. God, this screwing thingy takes so long. Look at how big these threads are. There we go. That is a very long thread. Alrighty. So as you can see, all this is black because this is exposed. Now my hands are going to get really greasy at this point. Now what I do is I just wipe all this crap down. I wipe down inside of here. And I take my Gold Cup and put it all together and lube it all up. Go, just wipe that down. Nice and beautiful. Now you really want to wipe down absolutely everything you possibly have lube on. God, that dog is going to town on that bone over there. Holy shit. Lots of dogs here at Team Insanity headquarters. We're up to like 5 dogs now. Alrighty, just wipe that all down. Now you want to wipe down the inside of here too. Like I said, it's a much longer process than your average Ego. You know, it's a little bit longer. It's an older style gun. Bada bing, bada boom, just like that. Now what I do is I'm just going to take a little bit of Gold Cup. And I'm just going to put just a few drops inside. There you go. Don't need too much, just a drop or two. Now I'm going to set this. I tend to put 1 or 2 drops before I put the spring back on it. You don't have to do that. Having trouble coming out. There it is. Slide that bad memory. Actually, where'd that one little piece of... God, I'm losing things. There, blended in with the black G. Alrighty. Slide that little thingy back on. Put this back on. Put some oil back on this. Like I said, it's always nice to put a little bit of lube on every moving part. Now, I'm not going to bore you with screwing that back on. Just going to put a little bit on that. Work it inside of there. Bada bing, bada boom. Now all you have to do, screw that right back on to the pump handle or arm thingy. I'm going to put that off to the side. Then you drop it right back into place of this, just like how you took it apart. And then you basically just reassemble the whole thing. So you take this, put that in there like that, and then you take your pump handle and your pump arm and you take the bottom, the other part of your frame, put her all together, put it back, and put the set screws back in, and you are golden. Don't forget, also make sure you clean your barrel. You want to get all the oil, all the stupid shit that you got that you're shooting through this. Make sure that this is clean. Alright? Now let's take it out and do the conclusion. In conclusion, I have to say, buy it. If you're really thinking about playing pump, if you ever have contemplated and you know about it, just buy it. You will not be disappointing in buying a Phantom. What I do recommend is, I don't have my normal one here, is if you get one of these velocity adjusters, what I would do is take like electrical tape or hockey tape or just duct tape, whatever you have, what you do is you stick this down, you take your barrel off, and I already did it on this one because I'm just starting it. is you see where this little Allen wrench fits in. You mark it, and then you tape from right there all the way down. So when you're sticking this down your barrel, that it doesn't scratch up the whole inside of your barrel. And I would do that with all pump guns, even if you don't have a Phantom. Just take it and tape around side of it, so when you're putting this in, you don't have to be really careful with it, because all you're doing is just have to keep the end straight and make sure that it doesn't, bobble around in there. But that's really the only downside, is have to change the velocity, is just to stick this bitch down there. I mean, it's like that with almost all the lower end pump guns, even though this isn't really lower end. With most of the pump guns on the market, you have to do that. You have to do that with the Empire Tracers. I don't think you have to do it with the Sniper, but that's again $450, 400, somewhere around there. So I will never own I might own another pump gun, but I'll always own a Phantom. There's just no way, because I love this gun so much. And no matter what, it's almost like a Tippmann 98 Custom, because you can take this and do whatever you want to it. I have the air going out the back like this, because I didn't really feel like buying a stock. I just used the air tank instead, and I made the macro line a little bit curvy, so it's I have one here and one there with the ASA. So if I'm shooting right-handed, the ASA, or the not the ASA, but the macro line, the hose here, is not in my way right here. And if I want to switch, it fits right in perfectly with my left hand. So that's one good size. You can do a lot of things to this gun. If you don't want a hose out the back, then you can make it stock class. I also have a 12 gram changer right here. I have some videos of that. I have 12 grams out the back. You can also put a hose going through here, put a 12 gram adapter here. You can put a little tank here. You can and then put a stock right here. You can put the gas going through the stock and put the tank on your back, and you can make a 10-round attachment to it. I mean, there's just so much possibilities you can do with this to fit your playing style. It's not like, say you buy an Empire Sniper and you can't really put attachments onto that thing at all. There's like 1,000,005 different pump handles for this thing. There's so many different undercocking kits. There's just so many upgrades that you can do to this thing and make it yours, so you are comfortable at all times. That's what I really, really love about this pump gun. You will not be disappointed if you invest in one of these. I'm not. I got mine for under $50 used from one of my buddies. He was going to college. Thank you, Jake. It's the best thing in the world. I'll always have at least one of these. I use these in scenarios, rec ball. I've used them just about everything that you can imagine. I haven't really used it on a speedball course before, but I want to for a pump and pistol tournament. So yeah, that's about it. Just buy it if you're really thinking about getting like an Empire Tracer or something lower, or a Spider Hammer 7. Trust me, I've shot in all of them. This is you can make this even lighter. You can do so much stuff to this. Just buy this. Don't go cheap. Just invest a few more $100, because you will not be disappointed, because you're probably going to end up buying this anyways, because this is amazing. Okay, it speaks for itself. You notice why. You wonder why I'm always shooting this pump all the time. I haven't really bought another one because I don't need to. I'm happy with this one. Made it exactly how I want it. Got a short little pump handle on it. Both sides of the macro fit both sides of my hand, so it's good. I like it.